A Sky News investigation has revealed the New South Wales government has failed to introduce a revolutionary communications technology across all its disaster response agencies. The investigation shows the government has been aware of the technology for at least 8 years and actually rolled it out to Rural Fire Service in 2019. It hasn't been passed on to all agencies though, despite the brief of the New South Wales Resilience Commission to work closely with the RFS and SES to minimise the impact of bushfires and floods such as the Lismore disaster.
Sydney-based technology developer Kathleen Kenny has long had the solution to the chaotic and confusing communications problems of the New South Wales disaster management agencies.
It is a multifaceted technology that can be used across multiple agencies. So when you've got something like the floods or bushfires, you have a lead agency managing the disaster, and you can easily slip other agencies in. So everybody's working on the same platform.
So impressive, it was adopted by the New South Wales Rural Fire Service in 2020 after the catastrophic Black Summer bushfires.
I think, Council, that's one of the big lessons we had out of this season was our resource tracking systems are rudimentary and they need to be more sophisticated and more mature into the future, and that's going to be part of the strategy going forward.
The application that we and the contract we've signed is with a company called Emerge, and it's called the BAR application, and it's being used a lot within New South Wales by local brigades who have, on their own initiative. We're now looking at implementing that, and over the next year or so, we'll look at building that into our systems, and I think it'll be a very good tool for us going forward.
So it's a single source of truth for everybody, and there's mapping overlays and things like that. So in a bushfire, you'd be looking for water source. In the floods, you're looking for ways to, let the water out and let it escape so it avoids flooding massive towns and taking people out and their lives, etc.
But even though the tender was awarded by the RFS on the watch of the then Commissioner Shane Fitzsimmons, he was unable to recall it when he spoke to Sky's Pete Stefanovic.
Why have you not overseen the introduction of the same technology for use in the management of the flood response?
Sorry, what's that question again, Pete? I don't understand your question.
Okay, so to back things up, why not double it up, use it again?
Okay, so I don't mean to be repetitive. I don't manage the flood response. The flood response is managed by the State Emergency Service. I'm happy to get more details, Pete, offline, but I'm not 100% sure on the particulars that you're referring to there. In
2019, together as a joint proposal, we won the tender for New South Wales Rural Fire Service. The technology was actually recommended in the Royal Commission into the Black Summer bushfires and was since rolled out in 2021 for the 74,000 members of the Rural Bushfire Brigade in New South Wales.
Kathleen Kenny first met Shane Fitzsimmons in 2014, and she is in no doubt that her breakthrough technology would have minimised the impact of this devastating flood and so many disasters preceding it.
I've met with him on a couple of occasions. I've met with various ministers over the last 10 years, as I've mentioned. It won't be the last flood, it won't be the last bushfire, it's going to keep coming, and we'd like to be able to, Australian technology, we've identified billions of dollars of savings year on year for government. It's a quick win to roll it out. It's already developed. It just seems absurd. It is frustrating. We're talking about something that saves time, money and lives. The most important critical factor.
Her meetings were followed by emails stating BART Technology, a platform for those managing an incident and those out in the field. Kathleen Kenny is certain the Resilience Commission, with its well-advertised priority for prevention, would be or should be aware of the system's potential to help the SES coordinate the state's flood response.
It's a single source of truth platform that would allow the lead agency managing the actual disaster to be able to communicate one way with people on the ground as opposed to people looking for multiple sources, whether it's an act of terror, whether it's a bushfire, a flood, it really doesn't matter. The truth is, timely communication saves lives.
And so many have been lost in the decade since this homegrown technology was invented. In Lismore, Adam Walters, Sky News.